Hello, this is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? It is New Year's Eve, so depending on when you see this, Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year's. Hope 2022 is good for you guys. It was for me. So I am looking forward to 2023. I still have to do my taxes though, or all my documentation, you know, for the yarny side of life. So yeah, there's still that to do. But anyway, I'm looking over because it is gray, it is damp, it is not very cold. It's 55 degrees, which is unusual for going into January. So it's kind of Alfred Hitchcocky looking outside, and you know, like Twilight Zone. And Father Minion is watching the Twilight Zone marathon right now, so it just all goes. Anyway, Happy New Year. Welcome to any new subscribers, and to you guys who've been here, cheers. Hearty cheers to you guys. So this is hopefully going to be quick. It's just me trying to remember and wrap up any videos that I may or was supposed to do and didn't do. Also, just talk about my last 3-4 craft fairs that I did since the last video. 3, 4, 5, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so let's dive right into it. But before I talk about the craft fairs, I've been on vacation this past week. It's a godsend, really needed. And I was able to finish off a couple of whips. A couple of them were very old. I was in a shawl mood, I guess, since I'll talk through the craft fair that Shawls sold. I just wanted to make shawls, and I like making shawls, so give me 1 second. Okay, so you may hear some life noises coming from there because Father Minion is watching the Twilight Zone. Anyway, so shawl number 1. Or in no particular order, but actually no. I will start with the most recent one. There was the Echoes Mystery MCAL Mystery Crochet-A-Long, and it was hosted by Not Bad Brit through Instagram and through her blog, and it was in conjunction with the Frosted Stitch. Is it the Frosted Stitch? I'll put the names on the screen, but she's a yarn dyer. So there were minis that were, I guess, dyed for this, and it was a very simple shawl, which I was thankful for because it was nothing that was taxing on the brain. And I guess you were to, it was a very adaptable, simple, triangular, asymmetrical, boomerang type shawl. And you could use any yarn, or use the yarns that were dyed that came in a kit. So obviously I didn't want to go purchase, and I had planned to join it and forgot about it and ended up joining late, so obviously I wasn't gonna buy anything. And I have plenty of acrylic here, and I have plenty of other yarns, hand-dyed yarns, but they're in tubs and stuff that I have yet to put back after painting. So I had a bunch of yarns I bought from Craftsy. Remember when Craftsy, they used to sell, you know, they do classes and all kinds of videos, not just yarn related, food, exercise, cross stitching, all kinds of stuff. But they also sold yarn, which was really great, and you got to sample some really cool yarns that you wouldn't otherwise sample. Cloudborne was a brand that they had. I think you can still find some of the Cloudborne on webs, on their online yarn.com site. But anyway, I had some when they were closing down, because Craftsy was eventually bought by, oh, I forget the name. It was a short stint, but they were bought by somebody else, and then they ended up coming back as themselves. And but without the yarn. They also sold fabric too, and a store not too far from me ended up having a bunch of the Craftsy fabric that I bought some of, which I haven't had a chance to use. But anyway, I found some of the yarns that I bought from them. It's Bremont or Bremont, whatever you pronounce it. There were 1, 2, 3 different types. There was a tweed, London tweed. There was Claire, which I think was their mohair-ish. It was brushed alpaca silk blend. And Letitia, which is just a roving style yarn. So I bought them. They've been sitting there for the longest time, so I figured I might as well use them. So like I said, and I will put pictures of everything either at the end in like kind of a slideshow or as I'm going along. But oh, I already tagged it for you know, next season's craft fair, because that's one of the things I do. I finish something and I don't finish it, like put the tags on, put my labels on and all that. So I made sure I did that this time. So because I'm always rushing when it comes to craft fair season to try to tag things that have been sitting there forever. So anyway, so this is a brown color, and the colors have numbers, not names. So this is the brown tweed, and it's showing up lighter on here on the camera. Then this gold color is the plain gold roving with, you can see some of the fuzziness, I hope. So that section I mixed with the brushed alpaca mohair-ish color. Then we had this autumn red color, definitely brighter on screen. It's definitely more darker autumn colors. And then I mixed the brushed alpaca with a brown of the roving. Then I did the black tweed, and back to the gold on gold, back to the brown, and so on, until I used up most of it. Oh, I still have the gold plain roving style and the black and brown of that yarn, but I used all of the tweed except for one. There was a grayish, a charcoal that I'm looking at, tweed, that I didn't include in here, and I had one cake of that. This is what it looks like. If it's gonna focus, probably not. Let's see. No. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Yeah, so that's, whole thing is still there. I cast it on a hat using, I have another cake of the brushed alpaca, and I am just going to try to hold it double with some of the other plain colors just to try to use it up, but who knows. But anyway, this is what I ended up with. I posted pictures on Instagram. So that was the Echo Mystery Cowl. And links to everything will be down below. The link will be to the blog. There is no pattern like on Ravelry or anything. It's just through the blog. So that's that one. That was done. Definitely fall colors and totally. And then the black just brings it all together. So that's one. That was the most recent one that I started and finished. Last video obviously had shown the shawls from the winter hop. So those were two. The other one is this that I had started, I think, in July. It is the Count My Blessings shawl by OM Granny Square. And I did it in some shawl in a ball that I had gotten rid of all my shawl in a ball, and then I'd fallen down the rabbit hole of Lion Brand's 10 for 10, and I bought a bunch. So I'm looking at them. I'm trying to use up. I have gray tone ones that I just started a big Sky Shawl, the Moogly shawl. That's simple, easy shawl. So, but anyway, this was my Count My Blessings. It's blocked, oops, steam blocked. And this is the Coral Rainbow. I don't remember what colorway it is, but I also was debating, because I'm not a huge fan of these types of edgings, but I decided, you know what, just follow the pattern and go with it. This pattern, you definitely have to pay attention and count. It's not always like a straightforward, you know, kind of repeat, but as long as you count, you should be okay. But I had to do some reaping back a few times because I missed a stitch, or yeah, that kind of thing. But again, they're all being done late at night, so you know the drill. And everything is, if it's on there, did I make sure I labeled and tagged everything so I don't have to rush to do that. And I'm feeling the hot flash coming on, so if you see blinks, that's me going to cool off. Whew. Anyway, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm all probably blown out because the shirt, I was all covered up because I had to run to the post office before it closed. And now, oh good lord. Anyway, the next shawl. This one, so the Echo Mal I started in November, late November, and the Count My Blessings I started in July. This is, I thought there was another one. I feel like I'm missing one. Anyway, I do feel like I'm missing, oh, duh. It's right there. We'll talk about that. This is, which one is this? This is the Memory. I didn't do notes again. And the heat. Oh my god. South Bay Shawlette. It is a Lion Brand pattern. This is the second or third one that I'm making. I think it's the second. There's another shawl on my, not, what is it? It's a blog where they just give you the, more or less just the chart, and then you do the shawl from. It's very similar to this, but anyway, I digress. This is the South Bay Shawlette. I've done it before. I started this one in 2019, I think. It was definitely before COVID. And it's been sitting there, and I'd started trying to get rid of my cakes, my mandala cakes. And I think when I picked it back up, I was in the green section, but basically I used 2 whole mandala cakes. Ooh, it looks better down here. There you go. So I did a little bit of color control, as you can, in this gray area, because the next cake didn't start with the gray, and I just wanted it to semi-flow. So it's huge. Obviously the shawlette is what it's called, and it's a smaller, you know, like bandana looking, but you can, the pattern is, it's a 2-row repeat, and you can just keep going and going and going as big as you want. So I went until I used up, I think almost all. I may have a little ball, and I keep meaning to add tassels. Hang on one second. Yep, this is what I have left of the 2 cakes. This one, this is what I had left of the first one, and then this is what I had left of, did I? No, this is of the second cake. I cut this out, I can't remember. I cut this out at the end of the first cake because I didn't want this color to go, because there was more of the darker color, and this wouldn't have finished the row, and it was light, and the next cake started with the darker color. So that's why you have this bigger section of the gray colors here. And then this is what was left at the end, because I decided to just end it on the green. But either way, I'm just sweating up bullets. It's huge. It's steam blocked again, and you know, it opened it up so you can see the pattern, and it's just, it's huge. It's humongous. Easy. South Bay Shawlette, you can either get it via Ravelry if you're on there, or go right to the Lion Brand site and get it from there, and easy peasy. So that is done and tagged and ready for craft fair from 2019. Oh, it felt so good just to to finish up those whips. So that shawl number 5, counting the 2 from the winter hop. And then this one I am contemplating keeping for myself because I like the pattern. One of my shawls that I use, I made out of Knit Picks Shine, which is their cotton yarn, and I made that back in 2016, and it's all reds and golds colors, and I have that hanging because I use it all the time during the fall, and mostly the fall and spring. But I had started this one out of Vanna's Glamour. Do you guys remember Vanna's Glamour? Long since discontinued. It is a number 2/8 yarn, very sparkly, very stretchy, very bouncy, and I had many colors of Vanna's Glamour back in the day, but I had these 2 colors left, and it's a purplishy dusty lavender color and this gorgeous teal sparkly color. Absolutely gorgeous. And I had 1 skein of the teal, it's called Lapis, and then I forget what the lavender one is called, but I had 3 of that one. So it's so pretty. Look at it. It is by Elk Studio, Kathy Lashley. I don't know if she's still designing. The last photo on her Instagram was somewhere back in 2021, I think in March of 2021. So yeah, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Now I don't think it's showing on here, but like I said, I was trying to capture the sparkles, because especially on the teal color, it's just so beautiful. I hope it's, yep, it's all sparkly. This isn't doing it justice. Love it, love it. This is another one you have to kind of pay attention because of the I don't even want to say it's a number of row repeats. It's just, I think it's like a 10 row repeat or something. I don't even remember, but it's, yeah, it's not like a simple 1 or 2 row repeat. You have to kind of pay attention to the pattern, but it's well worth it. Let me go get my other one that I make that I use. I'll be right back. Okay. Ooh, I gotta be careful how I hang these up. I got a little bump from it hanging. Anyway, so this is the one. It was an orangey color, red and purple. Totally forgot about the purple, but this is mine that I use out of all Knit Picks, and it's cotton. A very soft, wearable cotton. It's pretty. I remember one of the first times I wore it to work, and I was in the cafeteria, and the cashier was just oohing and eyeing over it. But you can see that bump. That's where I had it hung up, and it got a little distorted. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. I usually just wear it like that. So yeah. So, oh, did I say the name? It's a Southern Diamond shawl, and it was a Crochet-A-Long back then. And once I finished that one, I wanted to use up the Vanna's Glamour. So it's not huge, but it's so pretty. I want to keep it, but I don't have anything in this purpley color. It's not really my thing, but the teal, the lapis color is just so gorgeous. Anyway, I did put the tassels, what was left of it, because there is no more Vanna's Glamour. But anyway, ooh, fiber in the eye. So yeah, those are my shawls that I have finished over this since Christmas. Yeah, so I felt quite accomplished. I got something done. And yeah, I have a mess. I'm still trying to put my room back in order from months ago since we painted. Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I made, since we're done with the shawls, for Seta's calendar cowl, I've been doing amigurumis all year, and for December, did I show November's? No, because I didn't make a video. I will put it, hopefully if I remember, I will put it part of the slideshow or whatever. But for December, I made an Amineko. So this is, what is this yarn? Oh, this is Bernat Pop. I still have most of the cake there. And then this is Red Heart Hopscotch. So I just gave it a little flower. That's it there. And to go with that, I just made a little octo to go with it. The ones with the flower on it, especially the velvet ones that I made, were very popular at the well received at the craft fairs. So, and then this one I haven't posted a picture of yet, but I just felt like making an Amineko, so I made him. And the red is just my yarn from the Dollar Tree, or just yarn from the Dollar Tree. And this is some, I'm pretty sure it's some Michael's Craft Smart. So yeah, and then on the tail, I just added that to the tail, just because. So yeah, that is that, and hopefully I'm gonna pause because it's probably gonna shut off on me, and I'll be right back. All right, so craft fairs. I don't remember where I left off. So I think I had just the last 3 in December, so I'll just do that. The best one was the first one in December, the first week, and unfortunately it may be the last year they're having it because they're having trouble finding help with a craft fair. So yeah, it's run great. I've known the person running it for the last 4 years I've done it, and the kids at the school help, but they need other grown-up volunteers to help organize and everything, and they're having trouble finding that, so it will be a bummer if it's the last year, but oh well. So out of that one, obviously my best-selling item at the craft fair, my 2-button cowls. They went, and I had to rush to make some like overnight for some for one craft fair. I had a back-to-back, and that one was a complete bust, so that was a waste of energy too, making it, but you never know. But out of that one, I sold 11 of my 2-button cowls. Like, those were the week before I had made most of those 11s just to have them for the fair, and I think I pretty much sold out, or I may have come home with like one or two. So I sold 11 2-button cowls. I sold 14 octos. Those Leggy Froggy things, they are easy to make. You can make them in any weight yarn. They're really quick to make, and they're very popular. I used the pattern, I think, uses the velvet yarns, but you could use any yarns. And when you use smaller yarns and smaller hooks, I have these little rattles that I put in it, and I turn it into rattly keychains or keychains without the rattles, and those are very popular too. So yeah, I sold 6 Leggy Froggies there. At previous craft fairs, I had sold out of whatever I had, and I usually had about 6 or 7 of them with me once I started making them. So let's see, I had this gray poncho that I made in 2017 for someone. It was a custom order. I made 2 to give her options, and she took it on a trip to Europe or something, and she had sent me a picture. I don't know where that picture is, but I think I still have it. But I still had one that I've been carrying around with me since then, and so many people touched it because it was made out of Hometown. It was Hometown USA back then, but for some reason people thought it was like the greatest yarn. They touched it. So many people touched it, and it finally sold after so many years me carrying it around. The reindeer that I did, I had jumped on a Crochet-A-Long. I think it was run by Terry of Yarn Joy, but I had seen it when Kim Crafty Nomad was doing it, and I ended up doing it, and I had it with at pretty much all my craft fairs. I didn't put it out at the September ones, but a lot of people liked it but didn't buy it. And then at this one, this girl, I think they were a vendor there too, but she came, and she must have been 16, 17, and she fell in love with it, and she bought it. And she also loved the jumbo octo that I made. I only made 2. One, I had shown previously that this 13-year-old had bought it. It was like her birthday was 2 days later, and that was her birthday present. And then this older girl loved it, so she was there with her mom, and when she bought the reindeer, which she was holding it like she was like, you know, like a 8-year-old or something, a younger kid, which always warms my heart. But her mother came back and she goes, "How much is that?" Oh, no. And she was whispering, and I had so many people do those, like, you know, somebody they were with wanted something, but they didn't buy it, and then they came back wanting to buy it for the person and always looking around. And I even had another vendor who had her friend with her helping her. The friend liked something elsewhere, so the vendor went and bought it for her, and she like had me hold on to it to keep it away from her friend so she couldn't see it. So it was a great show. But I had a lot of people doing that. This guy came back and bought some things for his wife, and like kept looking, and those are like the best. But anyway, she bought the daughter bought the reindeer, and then the mom came back and bought the jumbo octo and a couple of other things as well. So again, a lot of people use more cash than I thought would, but just as many did credit card purchases. So if you guys have if you can take credit card, they also buy a little more if they do credit card sales too. So just FYI, if you can get the squares, and I use PayPal. Speaking of, anybody use Zettle? PayPal, I think, bought Zettle, and they've kind of combined, and they're trying to, I think they're getting away from what I use as PayPal here, and that may be phasing out, and I'm still not in tune with how exactly Zettle works. Part of it too is like I will probably have to re-enter all my items back into this new system if I buy it. So anyway, again, I digress. Headbands. I sold 6, 7, 8, 9 headbands, 10 headbands, 11 headbands. Yep. Victorina beanies. Last time I did craft fair, or before, that used to be one of my, with the 2-button cowls, my big sellers. At this one, I only sold 3. I definitely didn't sell as much at this fair, but the last fair I did, I sold quite a few of them. I had started an Yvette shawl, and then I didn't like how it was going, so then I just turned it into a cowl, and I've had it for, I think, a couple of years. That sold. My I had done Angie of Ruby Babies. Was it? Is it the Gran'dana? I'm saying the name wrong. Sorry. I will put it on the screen. And I think I had done that out of latte, and that was a big hit. That sold. All my Kalisha wraps and shawls sold. The Festive shawl, the what else? The cozy wrap, that sold. I was surprised. The one I did with some, it had some merino wool yarn and some hand-dyed merino wool yarn, and I was surprised, not at this craft fair, at my last one. Somebody bought it and they paid the price I was asking for. It's always a good feeling. What else? A couple of French triangle shawls or cowls, those sold. Yep. And my big Starshine sold finally. I've had that since a while, a few years. That finally sold. A lot of my older things ended up selling. I sold at my last craft fair this daisy pillow I had. This was part of a I don't even know if I'm still part of this group, but there's a group on Facebook, I think it's a Crochet-A-Long group, that I participated in like 2 years in a row, and I ended up winning one year, because people vote on the pictures that you post, and I ended up winning one year, and I won a big box, a 10-pound box of stuffing that lasted me quite a while, and now they don't last so long anymore once I start making amigurumis. But so the daisy pillow, a little boy fell in love with it, which was awesome, and that I'd had for a while. So a lot of the things that I had carrying around for more than 3 years sold, and I'm thinking, well, just like my shawl started selling once I started putting them on that half mannequin on the table, for some reason it picked up from there, and now I use these collapsible shelves. It's a 5-tier collapsible shelf. I use that, and I also have 2 smaller shelves that are they're not collapsible, they fold in. So it gives height to people, and that's one of the things I saw a long time ago. You need to give people some different levels to look at, and vertical. Less things that they have to bend down to on a table. I do have table risers as well that that I use. They're a pain in the butt to use, but you know, anything to keep people from looking down, just keep them at eye level or above. That seemed to have worked. And yeah, it also helps with not carrying so many tables around too, because the tables are heavy. Yeah, it was a good end of the season. Let me bring up my list of my last craft fair. I'll be right back. So at the last craft fair, I sold 5 2-button cowls. 1, 2. Speaking of things I've had for a while, hats. Once I started making the Victorina beanie, that kind of took off and it sold a lot. So some of my other patterns I've had, and I put them out as fillers, but they didn't really sell. This time, like my Anissa beanie, it's just a simple, I use the herringbone half double crochet. That's one of my older patterns. I sold 4 of those out of the blue. And I think I had like 6 or 7 of them that I've been carrying around, so like I sold more than half of them. A lot of just crochet patterns that I tried, or hats that I've had that have just been there. Those, I put them out. Once I ran out of my regular stuff, I just put those out. I made this bobble headband. It was recently, like I think right before the craft fair. I was just using up leftover yarn that I used for something else, and somebody bought that, which was surprising. I don't even remember what I did for the pattern. I did it on the fly. The big Sky Shawl sold. Then I had the fall theme one. That one sold. Like I said, the festive cozy wrap, cozy festive wrap. That sold. The daisy pillow. I had this little grumpy pumpkin from Sharon Ayala. She hasn't posted in forever. I know she had some medical issues maybe at one point, but I haven't seen anything new from her in a long time. But she has great patterns. She does videos for them and everything. Amigurumi. She's big amigurumi. So that sold. What else? Some just basic knit hats. I sold 6 Leggy Froggies at this one. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 octos. Another little pumpkin I had, that sold. I had an owl lovey. I posted a picture on Instagram of this girl who bought it and put it in a bag and gave it to her. Like, whenever kids buy, I always, like, you know, like, try to make them feel like such a great shopper. And I'm like, you know, you're not an official shopper until you have a bag. So I hand them the little bag with their purchase. And next thing I know, I'm watching around and I see the mom walk by. I noticed my bag, and then I looked up, and then she's like holding the thing out of the bag, walking around. Best feeling. Best feeling. Yep. The hats that I've been knitting, the speckled, the little little color blip that looks like little heart speckles. I sold 3 of those. I had the chevron infinity cowl that I just did on a fly years ago. That sold. 2 Victrina beanies there. That sold. So it was good. The one downside to craft fair season was the second craft fair I had in December. It was a spur of the moment. They called me from seeing me somewhere else, and it was at a church, school/church, and it was such a bust. I haven't had one of these since I originally started. Basically, I sold $88 worth of stuff, and the table fee was quite pricey, and I ended up with like $13. So it was a live and learn. Reminded me of the things that I shouldn't say yes to. Yeah, I just figured I'd try to, you know, get rid of as much stuff as possible, and that I ended up selling like 2, 3, 4 things. So that was a big bummer. And then one other craft fair that I'm contemplating not doing again. That didn't go so well. It didn't meet my threshold. It wasn't a bust like the $88 one, but it didn't meet my threshold. So who knows? Just an opportunity to look for something else. But then again, the other one that I picked up because another vendor recommended it did awesome, and I already told them to hold my spot for next year because it was great. So yeah, you never know. So craft fair season was great overall. Can't complain. I got to use up a lot of yarn, but I'm looking and I see that I put back a lot of yarn. I bought a lot of Thick and Quick because I was supposed to make some more fringe triangle cowls, and I never got around to those. So my goal is to really start early and just make them during the year and have them and not get so distracted by stuff. I need to pull back from doing all the things and just doing what I should be doing. Yeah, and using up those cakes. I want to knit a couple more shawls. The boomerang shawls, those were really well received, and the Sierra Madre, which is a really easy shawl pattern, but and it's the Sierra Madre was designed for Thick and Quick or super chunky yarn, and I did it in mandala, so it took a lot longer to get the width. So yeah, I think that's, oh, of course I was just talking about I used up yarn, but then I ended up buying, my Knit Picks cubby was almost empty, and now it's fully stocked because they had a great sale I couldn't pass up. So there's that. And then ever since Sweet Roll came out with the Vivid, I wanted to buy it, and it really is the same colors as the Red Heart yarns, but you know, it's not, it's softer obviously. So I bought, and it took a while for them to ship it, but I bought Glowworm, which again, you'll recognize those colors. Red Heart, Super Saver, Bright Stripes. So I got 3 of those, and it came a while ago. I just opened the package today. No, it came last week, week and a half ago. This one is Neon Sign, and that package was, I think it just popped open, but there's this one here. I'm not sure. I was thinking when I originally bought it, like, it would be cool to have bright shawls made out of them, but I don't know yet. I'm thinking I might knit the shawls out of these. Either the boomerang style, or the asymmetric style, or the Sierra Madre. I might do that. since I think I've gotten a little faster with the knitting than before once I pick it up again. So, oh, and these are, if you guys are not familiar, it's 100% acrylic, weight 4, it calls for 5.5 needle and hook, machine wash and tumble dry, and it's tested against 350 plus harmful substances. So, and of course, you know, I'm all about the color, so I got 3 of those. I forgot I had ordered this many. I got 3 of the It's Electric. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely think I want like a shawl or something bright out of that. Sorry, not sorry about the crinkling. And then I got Lava Lamp. So there's that. So yeah, now I have, trying to use up cakes, now I have 12. Yeah, 12 cakes. And so there was the Knit Picks order. I bought some mandala. Hang on. I think I bought it off, was it off Lion Brandon's? No, Joann's. I bought it off Joann's because I was planning on doing something, and by the time it came, I don't remember what it was. But I bought the Felicity. Me not being a pink person, but I've always loved this colorway. So, and I love Mandalion. The Sierra Madre I knitted was out of the Zen, the green colorway. So yeah, I like that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those that I re-upped after using all of what I had. And I bought some I bought some Mainstay sparkly yarn because I was going to make something for the last craft fair out of that, but ran out of time. So I have 2 of this colorway, which is Taupe Sparkle or Taupe Splash. And then I have a dusty pink one and a light gray one, so 4. Anyway, so I just picked this up today because, you know, a sale. Oh, battery flashing. Let's see if I can get through this. Probably not. Knit Picks had another upcycle, another sale on this. I think this is new and limited, and it's called Upcycle Alpaca Blend. It's worsted. It's really like a really light worsted, and it is 33% alpaca, 34 wool, and 33 acrylic. And I got very well, the color palette they have is very subdued. So this is what it looks like. It's upside down. This is what it looks like. I hope you're seeing it right side up. Yep. And then ta-da! Hopefully that's what it is. You probably can't read it, but anyway, I got greens, and it looks gray, but it says it's like pistachio or something like that. So green hues and gray hues. I thought I got blues, but maybe it was just greens. Why? I don't know. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 of them. I don't know. I was thinking I was going to make a shawl or something with it, but it's a, how do you call that? It's not flat, it's like a boucle, and it's not going to focus. Just as it focused, it ran out of batteries. So, there you go. So you can see the twist. And I don't know if I noticed that when I ordered it. And even though it says it's a 4, it's a very thin 4. It's more like a number 3 weight. So we'll see what I do with that. So that's where I am. Back to work on Tuesday. Oh, back to work and back to 3, 4 projects that I'll be working on consistent, or what's the word? At once. Yeah, and just trying to, I need to refocus and figure out what I need to do with all this yarn. I know we say it year in, year out, and buy more, but Right now I'm on a shawl kick, and I want to keep on the shawl kick. I need to start a knit one. I think I'm just going to do a plain boomerang one. I like to have that on the go. And yeah, I have some shawls I purchased that I need to do, so I think January might be just the shawl. Work on shawls. The Big Sky is easy. You can play around with the color positioning to make it look less just simple. Like I did with the latte one, add eyelets. It's just easy to modify that way. Yeah, I need to buy some more latte cakes though. Yeah, I'm pretty much, I think I have 2 full cakes left. Yeah, can't be without latte cakes. God forbid. But yeah, and then I bought some Knit Picks Brava tweed that I need to use up as well. I want to work with that. Okay, while I'm melting, I'm gonna say goodbye, and hopefully if I can find pictures of what I mentioned, I will add them. And that's it. I need to use up the yarn is what I need to do. So as usual, Happy New Year whenever you guys see this, and I will see you guys in the new year, hopefully a little more regularly once I focus and figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.